Okay, so many people have wondered what this image means and like what is that, where is that, and stuff like that. And many people made the connection between the new doors in a hydro dam that you can see in the After Dark version of Kings Canyon. However, I realized that hydro dam is actually the other way. This is where this is the sliding door entrance, and this is the portal that leads to outside. And if we look at the map, this is the slide door and this is the portal that leads outside. So this should actually be here. And if we imagine that this is like one-to-one correct scale, like this is where this actually should be, and it is not just some part of the map grabbed and slapped here, we can see that the extension, this extra room, is roughly as big as this part of labs. There is one extra room and a corridor that leads to it, and if my calculations are correct, this is how it should look like. We have the little extra room, the little tunnel. It might not be correct, like it might be way off, but that's how I imagine it would look like. And this is positioned at an angle at which, if we make a line between the slide door and this extra room, it leads exactly to the middle of this. Actually, it does not lead exactly, it leads a bit over it. However, we can see that there is a level difference here, right? This is not the same level. There is level difference here, and this looks like it is way under the ground than labs is. So if we make this line like that, we take the levels into consideration somewhere maybe here and continue the line, it actually goes exactly in the middle of this. And we can see that the distance between the slide door and the end of the extra room is roughly the same as the the end of the extra room leading to the middle. So if we take that and apply it to the actual map, we can see that here we start a line, it ends on the room, and roughly the same distance goes either to this antenna, I mean this antenna in wetlands, or this satellite. I think it is the satellite though, because it aligns better with the angle at which we are looking at things. It goes exactly here. Here it is a bit off. It is way more to the west. I think it's here, right here. Like the distance is a bit off, but because we have levels differences here, you can't really measure it correctly. Like this is closer to our current camera location than this is. So this distance is actually bigger than this because it's more far away, right? So if we make that line again, like so, this is the same distance, however it is more far away, so this is way bigger distance. So if we go back to the map, we can do this, and it goes exactly to this. So if you hide this is where this satellite is. And by looking at things, this diameter looks like it's going to exactly where the bonus room of labs is going to end. So somewhere around here, right? So we're potentially looking at this entire area being completely reworked. Like, probably there is going to be some really hard digging in the ground, and there is going to be like a pretty big drop from here to here, eventually, of course. Because this looks like it is way more underground than labs is, and we already know that there is a pretty big levels difference between the ground here and the bottom of labs. It is like maybe 50 meters or so, so we're probably looking at about 100 meters or so of drop here, which is huge. That's really big. Okay, maybe not 100, but maybe 50 meters, something like that, like a pretty big drop. So when I first started, I actually thought that those two are the two satellites at Relay right here, and up here in the little island, whatever it's called, because they actually make a triangle like so with this. However, the shape is a bit off, like, because at first I thought that this is rotated, like it is really rotated, and it is just taken from somewhere and slapped here, and it actually has no connection to it whatsoever. And I still kind of think that because it kind of looks weird. Like, this is underground, right? Well, those are mountains, and they look like they are under labs. Like, how can you have mountains under labs? And this is even way under labs. Like, it is kind of weird. So if this is just taken from somewhere, we can see that we have two same objects making a triangular shape with another object, and these objects are obviously the same. And the only place on the entire map where we have something like this is here. We have two objects connected to a third object, which is either this or this, and these are all like satellites or antennas and stuff like that. And here's a crazy theory, right? It's really crazy, and it is probably not true, but I still feel obligated to share it with you. Like, the only other place where there is something like this is probably at water treatment, I think it was called. Yeah, water treatment, but like, let's be honest, it's not water treatment. So, if this is correct, when they make trailers for a new season, they like to tease the next season in the trailer. For example, we saw Crypto being teased at the Season 2 trailer, and then he got released in Season 3, which is the next season. And they consistently leak things for the next season in the current season trailer, okay? So this is what I noticed. I watched the Season 4 Simulation Launch trailer again, and I noticed how many times they're showing us the freaking windows. Like, we were all hyped for the reveal of Revenant and the tease of Loba, but we completely ignored that we are being constantly shown this city. And first of all, this is not World's Edge. I think we can all agree that this is not World's Edge. It is way more modern. It has some really sci-fi buildings and shit. This is not World's Edge. And let me show you exactly on how many different shots we get this window. Like, first here, before he opens his messages. Then here, they're having dinner. We're still seeing the city with the flying eggs and some weird thing here flying. Okay. Then again, we see the window another time, and this time we can see a floating city right here. At least it looks like a city. These looks like buildings, I'm not sure. And another one here, and these flying eggs, which kind of look like balloons, but not really. They look like eggs. And the flying city. Okay, and there's one more egg here. Okay, never mind. Here we can see this city again. Here, even in the reflection, we can see it again. Like, this is a very detailed reflection. We can see the floating city right here. Here we can see it again. Here we can see it again. Here we can see it again. And again and again in the reflections in the end. And right in the end of the trailer we see Revenant. Then it swaps to this, which is his old place, I guess, I don't know. Then it swaps back to Revenant, and then back to this. Like, we're being shown Revenant the city. Revenant the city. Like, why are they showing us this city so fucking hard? Like, they really want us to look at this city. So I personally think, despite everybody saying the opposite, I think that Season 5 will have a new map. And this is going to be the new map. Because this looks like the birthplace of Loba, right? Loba was born here because she obviously lives here with her parents, right? What if not Loba goes to the Apex game, but the Apex games go to Loba? And, you know, the games are being hosted on this planet and everything is cool, and then Loba sees probably the trailer for it, I don't know, and she sees Revenant. She's like, oh my god, that's the same guy that fucking killed my parents, you know? Maybe I should join those games and fight him. And maybe that's how Loba joins the game. We actually go to her planet, which is this really sci-fi city and stuff. Like, and on another note, ever since Apex Legends came out, players consistently drop in areas with a lot of buildings. School town, fucking fragments now, like it's shattered, there are not that many buildings there and people still drop there because people want buildings. They don't want to fight on open spaces, they want to fight in buildings. And look at this is all buildings. Like literally all buildings. There are no fields to be seen on any screenshots. The only things we can see are buildings. And even crazier, they were leaked files about teleporters. What if the teleporters actually lead to these sections that are in the air? Because we don't have a single teleporter yet in the game. Not one. Like not one. The only like teleport kind of feature we have is Revenant's ultimate. Everything else is just moving you. So these teleporters are not in the game, for sure. And about these are the doors that people found at Hydrodam. I actually started recreating the Hydrodam geography way before I even started to even think about it. And there is no way these doors lead to somewhere. Like unless there is a teleporter. Because people thought that all these underground stuff is Hydrodam, right? This is Hydrodam thing, blah 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 blah. There is no way this door leads to anywhere. If it's a room, alright, that's fine. You have a lot of space to work with in these big concrete blocks. Like there is one more here, but I haven't done the geography for it anyway. And they said that they want to improve loot on Kings Canyon, right? What if those are like mini vaults that you can open? However, I don't think this is likely, because these doors are really hard to get to for the average player. Like, of course you can slide here and the wall kick here and get to the bridge, but like how many people can do that? And if you want to get from the top, you actually have to slide here and then strafe and land here, and the average player can't really do that. So I don't see how these locations can even be made into something, because they're not really accessible for the average player, and we know that Respawn really like to treat the average player well. They're not going to make something that is really hard accessible for the average player. So I don't see these doors doing anything at all. They still might be like mini vaults, and you get the keys from them from the flyers, because the flyers loot is actually garbage and we all know it. So that's a possibility, but I don't think so. However, I'm really certain about this. I think this whole wetland circle is going to get reworked, and this is going to get completely destroyed. So yeah, kind of, that's it. That's what I think. We're going to get map update of Kings Canyon right here, and in Season 5, this is probably going to land before Season 5, by the way, like a week before probably. And then on Season 5 we're going to get a new map, which is going to be this. I know it's crazy, I know it's a crazy theory, but that's what I think.